want to make sure that you do read the syllabus in its entirety. Here you can see my contact information. Probably the best way to contact me is by email. And please make sure if you have any questions or not sure about something that you let me know. You'll see the course description, the textbooks, and by now you should have your textbooks. The SIOP book, either the secondary or the elementary version, depending on what you're teaching. They're the same. The examples are just elementary focused or secondary focused. And then the reading, writing, and learning in ESL. You should also have that book. We'll use both of them. And then when we come to the practicum, we'll use the SIOP book to review also. You'll see the course objectives here. So you want to take some time and read through what we hope to accomplish by the end of the course. And then here is our critical framework. And these are by the end of the program. We want you to improve your communication skills, be more comfortable with curriculum and instruction, which of course you already are, but even more so. Leadership and service, diversity, and your standard-based content expertise. Those are the School of Education's conceptual framework. As far as course requirements, attendance of course is required, but in an online course it's really, really important. So if you're doing all of the forums and the wikis and all the readings, you're participating in Adobe Connect Pro sessions, those kinds of things, you'll be considered present, and that's 20% of your grade. Now on to your assignments. I'll give you a quick overview of your assignments. Whenever you have an assignment though, there'll be more instructions in that unit in Moodle. The first thing that you'll do, and this will be under Unit 1, is the autobiography and philosophy of education. And really, you need to know yourself as a teacher, to know what you believe, how kids learn, and that sort of thing. So you'll write an autobiography and then write a philosophy of education paper. The next assignment is a note sheet, Common Core, and ELs. That's watching a podcast about the Common Core and then taking notes over it, and how it will impact what you're doing in the classroom. That goes right on to the next one with the Common Core standards once again. One of the big assignments is a collaborative research paper. So with a partner, you'll write an 8 to 10 page research paper on a topic that you're interested in around ELL students. You might want to use this as a basis of your action research paper that you'll do in later coursework. Don't have to, but just a thought. Another assignment that you'll have is the language proficiency case study, and that is with one of your ELL students. You'll have a template to fill out and thinking about the stage of language development and different language acquisition theories on that particular student. And finally, I mentioned the SIOP book. SIOP is it's kind of an umbrella of teaching ELLs and thinking about different things as you're planning and implementing your lessons and so on. So we'll do a SIOP lesson plan. And finally, your final is a TESOL standards reflection paper. TESOL is the organization that is the overarching organization for teachers of English as a second language. And this is where part of our course objectives are pulled from. But we'll look at Domain 3 with planning, implementing, and managing instruction. And then under that, there's a couple standards. You'll pick a standard and provide evidence that you are meeting this standard. And again, with all the assignments, there'll be more information on Moodle. In my syllabus, I always put class schedule and assignments, so you can go ahead and read through this so you know what will be coming up in future weeks. But again, I always put an agenda for each week, and it will have everything outlined, have everything in it. But if you ever want to double check due dates and things, just know that it's right here in the syllabus. So it goes just Unit 1, which is week 1, Unit 2 is week 2, and so on. So that's all outlined for you. Then the assignments that I mentioned, here are their due dates and the percentage that they're worth. All of our GSE courses are based on 100 points, and you can just see what everything's worth there. And then the grading scales on the right. Course policies, Times New Roman, 12-point font, APA style. Honesty policy, of course, is just do your own work. And sometimes inadvertently people plagiarize and don't cite things. And I truly believe it is inadvertently. Just make sure you're citing in your research paper the material. Late work. If you just don't have any late work, that's the easiest thing to do. Because every day that it's late, it's 10% off up to 3 days. After 3 days, it's no credit. So just, again, make sure that you get things in on time, and then we don't have that problem at all. If you need to get your paper after the class is ended, I try to keep them for about a year, and you can get those from me. Accommodations, if you do have a disability, please contact the Kresge Center, and they can help you out and make some accommodations for you and so on. The Kresge Center is here on campus, but there are some online things, whether you have a disability or not. We have Smart Thinking, which is a free online tutoring. In our case, a lot of people may want to use it for writing. You can send in a writing, and they will help you edit and so on. And I don't want you to forget about, we do have a great library system here, the Maybe Library, and on the GSE site, you can get to the information about the library. I believe there's also a button on Moodle that you can click and get to the library. But you'll want to use a lot of the online resources, research information, and so on. And finally, course evaluation. If you would take time at the end of the course, I would really, really appreciate it. It just lets me know what I can change in the course, how I can make it better, and so on. And finally, I just want to take a brief minute to talk about the Kansas Educator Code of Conduct. This is from the State Department, and they're asking us to put this in all of our syllabi to help just remind people about their responsibilities. And so you'll want to read through that. And then it's just references on the rest here. So I hope you learned a little bit on this brief introduction. Again, take some time to read through the syllabus, and I will be talking to you and seeing you on Moodle. Thanks so much for listening.